Dear students, in the last class you know that Matilda attended the ball party with a borrowed diamond necklace. When she returned home and stood in front of the mirror in order to see how she looked in the diamond necklace, as she removed the shawl from her shoulders, she was shocked to find that the diamond necklace was not round her neck. She began to cry, and the intensity of her cries was such that reached to the ears of her resting husband. Her husband came to her and knew that the borrowed diamond necklace was lost. Coming to know the fact, Mr. Loisel was also shocked. For some time, he didn't know how to pacify Matilda and how to tackle the situation. From Matilda, Mr. Loisel came to know that when she left the party hall, the diamond necklace was around her neck. Then Mr. Loisel presumed that the borrowed diamond necklace was perhaps made to drop on the way or was dropped in the cab they hired to reach home. First, they attempted to look for the lost jewelry inside the folds of cloth, inside the folds of the dress, in their pockets, everywhere where they had access. They searched for the lost jewelry, but it was not found. Now Mr. Loisel was confirmed that it was lost somewhere on the way. Mr. Loisel went out of home and went in the same area they used for coming home. All through the journey, he kept on looking for the lost diamond necklace here and there, but it was not found. He became shocked, and in a state of sadness, he reached home and informed Matilda about it. It was then 7 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock he was to attend his duty in the office. Now both the couple failed to understand what they should do and how the lost diamond necklace could be recovered. Mr. Loisel decided to lodge a complaint with the police. And he did it. He also got and lost advertisement published in the newspaper. He went to the cab office, talked to a good number of cab drivers and the cab officials there, but all his attempts proved futile. The lost article was not found. He returned home and told Matilda to write a letter to Mimi Frostier, telling her that the lost jewelry will be returned in a week because during use the clasp of the diamond necklace somehow got broken. Like an obedient wife, she followed the words of her husband and wrote the letter, and the content was same as dictated by Mr. Loisel. Okay? Now the problem was how to return the borrowed diamond necklace. There was only way left to purchase a diamond necklace and to return to the owner. So both husband and wife visited a good number of goldsmith shops, and finally in a shop they found a necklace of similar appearance, of similar look. Now on asking how much the diamond necklace would cost, they were informed that it would cost 36,000 francs. Mr. Loisel had only 400 francs, and that 400 francs was already given to Matilda for buying the party gown. Now Mr. Loisel had 18,000 francs kept saved for the use in emergency, and that 18,000 francs was left for him by his father. So he was sure that he can manage only 18,000 francs. Where from the rest of the 18,000 francs would come? Now Mr. Loisel decided to borrow the money. He contacted every type of money usherers, every type of money lenders, his friends, relatives, and acquaintances. From these sources, he collected the remaining 18,000 francs, and finally the diamond necklace was purchased. Matilda went with the purchased diamond necklace to Madame Frostier and handed her the box of the jewelry. Madame Frostier simply told that she was a little late in return. She should have returned the necklace earlier. She might be needed for it to wear on some occasion. And she took the box of the diamond necklace, and went straight into the inside her home and put the box inside the closet, without looking whether the diamond necklace inside the box was of same quality, was of same appearance or not. She just kept the diamond necklace inside the closet and locked it. This much for today, dear students. Rest tomorrow. Thank you very much.